video report here. I've got the landlord with me, and they've gotten a high water bill. How high was your water bill, hon?
I don't know how to read that thing. That's the first thing we've got.
And it's nice that they sent you this, because this is about what I'm going to explain to you.
Okay.
See that? That's the leak indicator. Okay? Each one of these are a gallon, 3 to 4. Each one of these hash marks are a tenth of a gallon. All right? So it's really nice how they sent this to you.
Okay.
Venice actually did something right. Oh no, it's Sarasota County. That's why it's right. City of Venice is, they wouldn't do that for you. Okay, 54,000 gallons. The place has been empty, okay?
You're right.
So another thing I noticed, the home has been repiped, okay? So the pipes aren't below the slab. We can see that by looking up there. You see the pipe going up. This is a duplex, 2 separate water supplies. This one's for that duplex, this one's for this one.
So it has
now,
been repiped.
It at least part of it is.
Okay.
You see that pipe going up?
Well, if he did one, he would have done the other.
Both of them have been, the main line is going up now instead of under the slab. So the only pipe you have underground should likely be this. I haven't looked over the whole house, okay? Now I'm going to tell you something furthermore. If this place is sitting empty, here's the thing you have to remember.
Right, now that side is rented. This side isn't.
Yeah, and anybody can use your water right now because it's on, right? So what you have is there's a shutoff down here that the city can shut off for you when you have it vacant. All right, I'm going to pull this box up to show you, okay? Right underneath here, there's a shutoff valve behind this. See this little thing? Right down here, it's hard to see. See this lever, this arrow?
Yeah.
All right, so that can be turned to shut the water off so nobody's using it.
Oh.
All right, because anybody can use your water.
Well,
because
how do I turn it off?
You're not gonna like what I'm about to show you, okay? This is city property, this back, okay? You're responsible for everything going forward from here. Now, you know that leak indicator they're showing you? This right here tells me right now with all your water on that you don't have a leak.
You're that's Anthony's side.
There is no, this is this side.
Yeah.
444, okay?
Yeah.
This is the one that you said you had a leak in.
No, 446 is the one. The
Let's
one
go
on the
over
left.
there because I got 444 on my work order.
Oh.
Okay, so he doesn't have a leak, okay?
No, not 444.
That's why I pulled in on 444, okay?
Oh.
So we're gonna put this back into the ground. It's the same thing with this meter, okay?
Okay.
But we're gonna check this one out. So that one doesn't have a leak. Now we're gonna take a look at this one. Now right here, see how our leak indicator is not moving on this one. So if you have a leak underground or a constant leak, this thing's going to constantly move in a circle.
Is that
all right? Now each one of these is a gallon. But you don't even have to stare at that. You see that little arrow on this? If that's sitting still, you don't have a constant leak. No, I don't know if the valve is onto the home. It is onto the home, okay? And this side has been repiped.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to show you what it would look like if you had a constant leak. Now that doesn't mean water didn't get used. It didn't mean it didn't get stolen. It doesn't mean you don't have toilets or something that fills that is leaking. Toilets are quite often the #1 leaker, okay? We don't know any of that yet. What we do know is if you had a leak between here and there or anywhere constant, this would be moving.
Wow.
The way we could isolate that is if we seen that moving and we shut off the valve to the home and it made this stop, that would say the leak's on the inside of the home. Okay?
Okay.
If you shut off the valve to the home and the meter kept moving, it would mean you had a leak out here in the yard between here and there. So we now know that you don't have an underground pipe leak between here and the house, and the water's onto the house, so whatever has been causing the high water bill is not making this move right now. Therefore, you don't have a constant leak. So I'm going to show you, though. I want you to look at that spinner.
Okay.
All right? And I want to show you how that works. So what we'll do up here is we'll go up, we'll turn on this hose bib. Now, that's what a leak looks like if you have one. That thing spins. Okay? Constant. It's going to spin constantly if it's a underground leak, because a pipe leak underground is going to constantly leak, right? It's not going to leak now and then leak a little and leak a little more because the pipe is filled with water. so it's going to constantly leak. So we've now eliminated any underground piping, which is a good thing, all right? Now, the same thing with this as far as shutting this valve off when nobody's here. You see that right there?
Yeah, yeah.
They make what's called a curb key, and I can show it to you, okay? I can shut these off. But you could take this and turn it as long as it's not too stiff. You don't want to mess with this too much because it is on the county's property.
Okay.
This it belongs to the county. They don't really like you to mess with this.
Okay.
They like you to have them shut it off. But I mess with it because of my job.
Right.
I'm not going to wait for them to turn it on or shut it off for me. Unless it's got a lock in it, then I have to wait because you can't tamper with it. So we're going to go take it, and I'm recording all this for you, okay, hon? So if you want to rewatch it or anything, there will be a link. It's going to be a long video because we're already almost 6 minutes into this leak survey, okay? But I wanted it just for your records.
Right.
And in case you forget anything I say because I talk fast.
I was going to say that water.
And you do have copper pipe underground here, so these are known to get pinhole leaks in it. That's why you want to shut it off at the meter when water's not being used here. Also, that makes it where nobody can mess with any of this stuff, you know?
Okay. Well.
Can't get in? Did you try the combo? Beep, 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 beep. Try it now. I'm just kidding with you.
You
Poor
try
thing.
that. I'll tell you very.
See, it was the combo. You got a
Okay. Go ahead.
3944.
Now,
All right.
this was the crack house.
Yeah.
You can
Yep.
probably smell it.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I'm assuming you'll look in here. No one thing, okay?
No.
So the toilet is empty.
Yeah.
So the toilet's been shut off.
Okay.
All right? Before I even did anything, this toilet shut off. There's a little water at the bottom, but it's not overflowing to the flapper. So we know that this didn't cause a high water bill.
Now there's a bath and a half in this one. And this, well, you know, I don't even know.
Okay, the other thing that would cause a water bill to go high is if it ever got stuck open is water filter out.
If there is. We never.
Boy, these guys were terrible.
Tell me about it.
They beat the hell out of this house on you, didn't they?
Well,
You can see all your pipes are above ground. There's your PEX lines, which is good stuff. Okay.
Okay.
You see, oh, yep, hammer arresters. So it was actually done with a permit.
Yeah, well,
Which is a
like
good
I say,
thing.
I hope so.
All right, and then we got a toilet. Now, here's the deal with this toilet, okay? We see the water level it's currently at. You see that?
Yeah.
So that's telling me. Now, when you guys came and checked, did you shut anything off?
I didn't. My husband might have.
Let's see that water line. This is leaking slightly. Okay, this isn't shut off. Now let's see where that water line goes up to. If it's up here, then we know this lost some water. Not a lot of water, and it wasn't leaking when I walked in.
Right.
But let's see where that goes off to. We don't know if he shut that other toilet down, okay? So that other toilet could have been leaking.
I'm sure he did. He probably turned it on.
We'll turn that one back on and see if it's constantly running, okay?
Okay.
It's easier.
Well, I know.
It's easier for me if you have a leak below the slab.
Yeah.
Because all I do is hook up my equipment, and within 10 minutes, I put an X on the floor and say, "There's your leak."
Well, I know.
This one's chasing a ghost
Yeah.
because there's nothing constantly leaking.
Damn. Man.
Take a look at this. Okay. Our billing department discovered that your consumption was higher than average, totaling 54,000 gallons. So that's a lot of water.
Well, like I say, as soon as Lee brought that over to me last night, we came over and we looked and we both came in. Of course, it was after dark. We used flashlights, you know, but I couldn't hear, didn't see any water running. But like I say, nobody has been in here. We got them out in November. And my husband was in here, was starting to clean out the stuff, and then he stepped on something. He's high diabetic. Something went through the bottom of his shoe, out the bottom of his foot, clear out the top of his foot.
Now, oh, yeah. Now, this toilet
Uh-huh.
does not seem to have, see that water line?
Uh-huh.
It's about where we had it earlier.
Yeah.
It's not up to where the stain is. It was
Right.
below the stain earlier. So
Yeah.
this doesn't look like the likely suspect. It's not constantly running. Now, that doesn't mean with the flappers not old and it doesn't line up and this toilet doesn't leak. I'm not saying that to you. Okay, but we're going to get this water shut off at the main until this place is ready, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you that. But here, let's go over here now, all right? And now nothing else, none of these other fixtures. Oh, look at that. Bad job on the water heater. Look at that. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Well, I don't
So
know.
just pointing this out for you. I don't know who
Right.
installed this either, but
I-
here's the deal. It's in the center of the house, so normally you want it on a pan if it's on the same level as the house, but this has kind of been modified. It used to be a different kind of room.
Yeah.
But I know we're here for something else with the leaks, but when I walk by something and see it, I hate when people do this shit. Look at this. They use these flexible lines on the PEX because they didn't know how to use the PEX to open it up, okay? The electric box isn't in here, so this should have a shut-off because there's no electrical box. You got to be able to shut it off from the same room, so this should have a box of disconnect switch. I mean, technically to
shut
code,
it off.
even though here in Sarasota County you don't have to have a water heater permit, but the other thing that's a major violation is this T&P valve. This T&P valve has to be routed to the bottom of the heater. It can no longer be trapped. They went out of their way to trap the shit out of this and ran it out through there, which is completely wrong. That's a big thing because if that line ever gets clogged, that's actually a big safety issue. Then and this gets too hot, it just blows up in here.
Yeah.
So just not very smart there. Good thing you have the good lines, the PEX lines. PEX pipe is far superior to any other product we have in water lines. Okay, now let's go check out the problem that we had though. Let's go back to this bathroom and this toilet. Okay.
See, I honestly think that the people that live in has gotten that. Because the last time I was in here, that thing was
Yeah. Well, we can see if this is actively leaking. I just turned this valve back on, okay?
okay.
But anybody can take that water from the front. I don't know why they would or what they'd want it for. I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that anybody can turn on any of these hoses around here and just leave them on if they want to. They can do it because they need the water for something. They can do it because they want to get even. I don't know. I mean, but we're going to see if this toilet leaks. If it does leak, we'll be able to tell you the rate that it's leaking at.
Okay. Well, like I say, the way things are at my house, I've had a couple people
That is. That was once again.
Well, I'm just thinking about having somebody come tear every damn thing out.
And when you get a high number, yeah, they get a high number like that with your gallons. No,
I don't think you
where'd
do
we
that.
set it? I'm gonna shut this toilet off just to see that stop right there, that back siphonage. Yeah, it's over here, hon.
Okay.
All right, so when we get that 54,000 gallons, okay? So you do the math on that in a 30-day period,
Well,
all
I'd
right?
say November, December, January, February. Hell, it's really been. Now, my husband was only over here, and so let's say maybe a week and a half before he hurt himself. Then he went into the emergency room, and they kept him over at Venice Hospital for probably 2.5 weeks over there, and then he went out to Pine Team, and he's out to 233 right now with 24-hour care around him, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to do the math. I don't know if that video stopped or what. I have to do this to kind of do the math here. There we go. We're live. But what we'll do though, okay, think of it this way. So you're losing in a 30-day period, all right, roughly 50 a day. Okay.
A
A
day.
day.
And
Think
what
about
does the
well,
average
this
person?
this is that's too hard to you. I mean, you can here's the bottom line though. So 1,500 gallons a day in a 30-day period, you would be at 4,500. This is actually 54,000. So maybe 1,800 gallons a day. You're talking about you know 75 gallons an hour approximately. We're going to do the rough math on this, okay, to see if that even adds up, and we're going to look at that meter reading, okay? But we're going to go check this toilet. I'm going to end this video with this 17-minute video. It's clear that you don't have any leaks here at this time, as the meter shows, and it's also clear that these toilets were not leaking, okay? One of them was off. You can tell that didn't go down. The reason this is important to you, okay? You are on county sewer here, correct?
We're on city water and sewer.
Sewer, yes.
Yeah.
So the sewer is rated on your water usage, okay? So we cannot classify this as going through the sewer system. So you need two things to get an adjustment on a high water bill. Number one thing that you want is you want them to adjust your water bill for not going into the sewer line, okay? Number two thing that you want is to also see if they can lower the tier. If you use too much water, they allow you to go to a higher tier, so it costs more money per gallon. You want to lower down the tier, okay?
Okay.
So get the sewer credited and lower the tier on this because
I'll
it was
have to write
accidental
that
or
down.
stolen, okay?
Right.
I'm going to put it in my report for you, okay? Besides this long video, this is a very long video. I'm going to end this, but I'm going to break that down
Okay.
to how many gallons you would lose per minute. All right?